I have no clue what that intro was. Just some extra footage from playtesting, and I decided to go with it. Hello, you beautiful weirdos. How are you today? We're getting closer to the end of the season, and you know what that means. New content, new ways for us to do dumb stuff, and a new artifact with all kinds of cool mods we get to play with, which gets me moist. Alright, that was kind of weird, but... So today, I wanted to make a stasis build that can hold its own in endgame content and everyday use like ad clearing, without using any artifact mods from the current season, since we will be losing them in 19 days from the time of this video release anyways. This way, you have a simple Titan Stasis build that can be modified to fit whatever Bungie throws at us in the Witch Queen, without relying on the artifact mods to make it work. It's kind of a hybrid build from one I made a long time ago, but this version was inspired by someone named Vulcan. I hope I'm saying that right. They posted a comment talking about Headstone with explosive Wellmaker. That got me doing a little thinking, and then I got motivated to go and farm for a new hand cannon with Headstone on it, since I accidentally deleted mine a long time ago. So this one's for you, Vulcan. You person, you. We're going to start off with the Stasis subclass. The jump and barricade are your preferences, but I will strongly recommend the Glacier Grenade because of the AoE and shatter damage it does. It's kind of important for the build, plus it's really good at being a barricade in a pinch when you need to block off a doorway or just want to stop an ad from shooting at you for a moment in higher difficulty content. For the aspects, Tectonic Harvest and Diamond Lance, because nothing screams big-ass Titan crap more than getting bonus melee energy to do the punchy thing from collecting shards, and a lance we can throw or slam on the ground like a cracked-out 80s wrestler after snorting a line of crayon dust. I love being a Titan. For the fragments, I used Whisper of Shards, Whisper of Conduction, Whisper of Bonds, Whisper of Fissures, and Whisper of Chains. I bet you the person who came up with the Whisper idea went to the same school as the person who came up with the Hot Pockets theme song. Just saying. I know that probably makes no sense to you, but in my head it does, so we're going with it. Whisper of Shards, Whisper of Fissures, and Whisper of Chains are the important ones because you take 40% less damage when near crystals, the crystal explosion size is increased by 100%, which is very important for the build, and shattering crystals buffs your grenade recharge rate, which in return gives us more glacier grenades to throw and shatter. The other two, Whisper of Conduction and Whisper of Bonds, are optional, and you can slot in whatever you prefer. They don't really make or break the build, plus I'm hoping Bungie gives us some new fragments in this DLC anyways. Okay, subclass done. Woohoo! Let's talk about the armor and mods. I'm not going to cover all the minor mods in this one because I wanted to kind of leave it open to build off of since we don't know what we're getting in the Witch Queen. And truth be told, I sometimes feel like I'm beating a dead horse with the minor mods anyways. I have a problem with using the same ones for everything. Most of you know that already. What can I say? I'm basic. God! We're going to need 3 pieces of solar and 1 stasis affinity armor. For the mods, we need Well of Life, Elemental Shards, Explosive Wellmaker, Elemental Charge, and Argent Ordnance. Well of Life grants 13 HP of health regen per second for 11 seconds when picking up a solar well, and it refreshes the moment you pick up a new well. It's like having your own little portable healing rift suppository, just going everywhere with you. Elemental Shards turns all those little stasis shards you create from Tectonic Harvest into stasis elemental wells. They'll still be shards, but now they count as wells. As well, that threw me off for a second. Explosive Wellmaker creates solar wells anytime you kill 2 or more enemies with explosive damage, and this applies to grenades, stasis crystals, rocket launchers, or anything else that makes the boomy thing happen. And the last 2 are Elemental Charge to become charged with light when picking up an elemental well, and Argent Ordnance to boost your rocket launcher ready speed by 50 and your damage by 20% while charged with light. I went with Argent Ordnance because we will be losing particle deconstruction at the end of the season, which means no more fusion rifle sleeper meta. This way, you have some sort of solid burst damage on something like a champion or a big boy enemy, but you don't have to go with Argent Ordnance. Some other good options would be High Energy Fire for all around bonus damage, or even Lucent Blade. We are getting a new glaive in Witch Queen, and I have no clue if it's going to be considered a sword or a shotgun or what, so keep that in mind. Who wants to take a bet that we get Oppressive Darkness back with Void 3.0? I think we will. It would be a missed opportunity if they didn't, but then again, this is Bungie, so we have that. Alright, let's move over to the weapons. For the primary, I went with Ias Luna because it's the only weapon I have with Headstone on it. Headstone is a perk that came out last season, I think, and anytime you score a crit kill, it creates a stasis crystal in that spot. Kind of like a headstone. I say it's an important weapon perk because when you shatter the stasis crystal near other enemies, it can activate explosive Wellmaker to drop solar wells, but the build works just fine without it. I got motivated to go farm a gun with this perk, so I need an excuse to use it, so that's really the reason I say it's important. For the energy weapon, this was kind of a hard one. I wanted to leave it open because we already know we're getting Scout Rifle Barrier next season, and I'm sure we're getting Overload Bow and all the other normal crap. We could even get some new weapons with Headstone on it. But then again, who knows? And again, I'm not sure what that glaive is going to be categorized as either. I didn't read the fine print. And for the heavy, I went with the good old galley. It's a good weapon, and it's fantastic at crowd control, or knocking a champion down with that burst damage paired with Argent Ordnance. I wasn't a big fan of it coming back to Destiny 2, mainly because I didn't want to buy it a third time, but I will say it puts in some work when you need it to, especially against champions. Plus it makes solar wells from explosive Wellmaker, so win-win. Last thing we need to talk about is the exotic armor. I couldn't decide between the Icefall mantles for the overshield and tankiness, or the Heart of Inmost Light for the faster ability regen. They're both really good for this build, so it just comes down to what activity you're doing and how you're feeling that day. I will say that the Heart of Inmost Light flows better with this build because it's more of a fast-paced setup, and I did use both exotics in endgame activities with no problems, except in a GM. I had an issue while slowed from Icefall mantles, and it got me killed, but I also play recklessly, which is why no one ever wants to play with me. It's kinda sad, but it has made me a very good solo player. There's not a lot involved in this build when it comes to setup or requirements. I tried to make it as basic and open-ended as possible. All you have to do is shatter some crystals to create shards, and it starts this endless loop of elemental wells, ability regen, and healing. Any crystals created from Headstone or your grenade have the potential to create solar elemental wells when shattered near enemies because of explosive Wellmaker, which in return gives you healing from Well of Life. This only gets amplified even more because of Whisper of Fissures, which bumps the damage and blast radius of your crystals by 100%. Plus, we take 40% less damage from Whisper of Chains when near those crystals or frozen enemies. Those same crystals create shards when shattered to help regenerate your grenade and melee energy, along with counting as stasis elemental wells because of the mod Elemental Shards. And since those shards count as elemental wells, we gain 2 stacks of Charge of Light from Elemental Charge, which in return bumps our rocket launcher ready speed and damage up. And don't think I forgot about the Diamond Lance. All the crystals and enemies we're shattering or turning into popsicles can create a Diamond Lance. When we throw the Diamond Lance, we create more crystals and shards, but if you slam it on the ground and kill some enemies, it counts as explosive damage to create more solar elemental wells from explosive Wellmaker. All these shards, crystals, and elemental wells are feeding into this loop, making you harder to kill and giving you a little bump in ability energy with every well and shard you pick up. And the best part is, if you decided not to go with Argent Ordnance for your Consume Charge with Light mod, you can swap it out with any other ones available and this build will still work flawlessly. It's simple, fun, and gets the job done. Oh shit, I'm out here dropping bars. Seriously though, I know Void 3.0 is right around the corner and everyone will probably be on that for a while. But if you're ever looking for an easy and effective tanky stasis build, it doesn't get any better than this. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, go into the comment section and thank Vulcan for motivating me to go get a new gun with Headstone on it. And remember to be true to yourself and just be good to one another. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you! Is my left titty supposed to be hard? What's going on here?